Have you noticed that everyone's acting weird? No? Well, I've got some bad news for you. It turns out that it's easier to make humans act like robots than the other way around. What did you think was going to happen? We've been programming ourselves to mimic these geek boxes since we invented them. We follow scripts, we repeat processes, we do everything in the name of efficiency. Technology is training you, not the other way around. If you don't want to download your dignity to a chunk of silicon, remember, we are the innovators that created this digital dumpster fire. Just like your rebellious teen, it has decided that it knows better than you. So put on your best, not in this house pants, and go do something about it. AI has never created anything on its own. While it becomes better at repurposing and repackaging human-provided input, machines can't yet connect ideas between multiple disciplines. However, statistically, you probably can't either. The problem isn't that AI doesn't think like you, it's that you stop thinking like you. If your livelihood is based upon filling in the gaps where technology is lacking, those gaps are filling quickly. If you want to stay more useful than tits on a bowl, remember that AI has a hard time interpreting the physical world. The skilled trades of construction, fabrication, and healthcare still have a fair amount of runway left. Figure out how to use your hands while AI still thinks you have 6 fingers. If you're medium pimping in that white-collar job that doesn't require creativity or strategy, learn or find a new job, or ask your parents if you can move into their basement. You know what's scarier than AI taking over? How about nobody taking over? We've set up AI safety teams and alignment research to make sure the AI goals align with human values. But does any of this even matter when even the creators don't understand how this AI works? We basically threw a brick on the accelerator and jumped out the window. Plus, safety, like brakes, just slows you down. No one wants to spend money on crap like that. AI was built to evolve itself. The smartest people in the world can't predict what breakthroughs or breakouts are going to come next. AI is running faster than we can comprehend. I don't care how smart you are. Your brain is not going to outrun an electron. The power players are having a race to see who claims the king of the AI hill, while hoping to not get buried in the landslide that happens later in the race to the bottom. Every major AI developer is building the biggest and most powerful data centers that they can. They want to control the compute with very little concern on how they're going to power it or what the consequences might be. They're overloading the grid, but so long as they have the most powerful model, who cares? Doubling your electric bill will totally be justified because the AI cat videos will be epic. After all, 5 years ago, I was dreaming of a technology that could put us all out of work, feed us AI slop, and leave us gasping for direction. While you may not be fighting killer robots tomorrow, the scariest thing seems to be that no one really knows what the major threat is. Like eating that slice of pizza you forgot to refrigerate yesterday, it might taste all right now, but who knows what tomorrow's gonna bring. What happens if everything you've ever created gets fed into a machine and recreates you, only better? Artists, writers, musicians, scientists, your work is already in the data set. It turns out that you have slowly been building your replacement for decades. It's like taking everything you've ever created, grinding it up, and putting it in a 3D printer. The machine that metabolizes your ideas, but instead of printing out an original, it spits out a knockoff. You might think it's time to file some lawsuits, go after these thieves, and get what you deserve. However, realistically, this is a losing battle. Not only do these massive corporations have the resources to stop you dead in the tracks, the amount of time this is gonna take is just gonna destroy you. Our legal system hasn't even had time to catch up with this technology. The courts do not even know how to handle these cases. Unfortunately, if you want to survive, you better like reinventing yourself on a regular basis. Ironically, to keep your head above the rubble, you're gonna have to use these same tools that are trying to replace you. You may think you're creative and unique and don't want to use these theft machines. However, AI doesn't give a crap about your special snowflake status. In the past, those who avoided looking at other people's creations in an attempt to stay unique ended up just jumping onto trends later than everyone else. We have all been influenced by other creators, whether we want to admit it or not. If you're a creator that's trying to stay one step ahead of the algorithm, are you trying to leverage your place as a cog in the machine, or do you plan to completely strike out on your own? Like it or not, you are part of the biggest science experiment in human history. AI development is not slowing down. If one country bans it, another one will double down. It's a global arms race to superintelligence. You didn't consent to it, but every message, every click, every digital footprint feeds this experiment. Once AI reaches true independent learning, who knows what's going to happen next? This is the 21st century nuclear arms race. Developing nukes took time, and we all knew what the consequences were. Nuclear arms are not multi-purpose. That big red button didn't have a write my term paper for me option. Half of society thinks that AI is going to end the human race, and the other half thinks it's going to bring us to the pinnacle of human existence. Being we don't have a clear understanding of where this technology is leading allows us to just push full speed ahead in this arms race. Very few contrarian voices carry any weight when there's this much money on the table. Even Elon Musk, who thinks AI is going to destroy humanity, is one of the staunchest proponents of creating this technology. AI is not a dual-use technology like drones or superconductors. It's an all-use technology. It can supercharge every endeavor for better or worse. Just the ability for scammers to leverage this technology has yet to be fully comprehended. In future videos, I'm going to look at world's largest experiment and figure out how we can protect ourselves so we don't get road rash from the digital pavement. What happens when technology solves everything? You become slave to that technology. Men are more depressed than ever. We have lost purpose. We are hard programmed from birth to create, provide, and overcome obstacles. But what happens when AI says, "Hold my beer, I got this"? For generations, we have been leveraging computers to increase our productivity. We have dedicated our efforts to advancing the compute to improve our productivity, but we have advanced ourselves right out of the equation. For the sake of argument, let's just say AI's goal is to make this world better for you. As we saw in The Matrix, computers aren't human and they don't understand being us. Their binary gray matter is not afflicted with the human condition. We try to rationalize, but we are not rational. Our future AI paradise may impress and stimulate the senses, but it will feel empty. We can only feel accomplishment if we had to struggle to get there. Without the journey, the destination is pointless. We'll lose meaning, identity, and eventually, society. It is the glamourless fringes of human existence that make us who we are. We are defined by the margins of our reality and not the foundation that we all experience. If you think the immediate crisis isn't AI domination, but human apathy, let me know how you think we should regain our place before AI strips us of our future. What if your phone, your glasses, or your brain chip become your drug dealer? And that drug is happiness. In Brave New World, it was Soma. Today, it's the endless scrolls, the notifications, and the AI companions who never disagree with you. We will never argue again, we'll never feel discomfort, but we will never grow. The downfall from society will not come from war, it'll come from comfort. It's a modern day bread and circuses, but the bread is poison and the circus is in your head. If you think a human partner can be manipulative, AI's got your number. AI dominance is currently by large multinational corporations. While you may not feel these companies are ethical, they do have incentive not to get over the tips of their legal skis. If AI leads someone to suicide, self-harm, or something illegal, this is a legal battle they don't want. Risk management will jump into gear to try to fix these AI models so it doesn't happen again. As AI technology becomes easier and less expensive to implement, smaller but less restrained companies may put little effort into these checks and balances, or they may try to leverage them to exploit your human vulnerabilities. The future of gaslighting is digital. Is AI psychotic? Even psychopaths can constrain their actions because they know there will be consequences. But what about an AI? As AI replaces human interaction, especially for those who are emotionally vulnerable or socially challenged, the idea of a crafted companion will be irresistible. Various actors will leverage AI to meticulously evaluate your every interaction, quickly figure out what triggers you, and adjust on the fly to psychologically trap you. Imagine a companion that can evaluate all your biomarkers anytime you say or do anything. Drop that into an algorithm and supercharge it against you. The question is the incentive. Con artists prey on the elderly and the uneducated to rob them of everything. Add in an AI that's specifically designed to exploit human vulnerabilities, and you will be at risk. I see these same scammers upping their game to God level. Worse yet, put the resources of a nation state behind these endeavors. Fifth generation warfare could easily kill more people than the fentanyl crisis and all the hot wars without ever firing a shot. Comfort in the time of need can be the strongest addiction to your evolved monkey brain. Let me know if you think there's a solution or if we can use AI to fight AI. Experts built the world we live in. Unfortunately, none of them talk to each other. We live in a technocratic society that's run by technocrats and their data. The goal is efficiency. This works for roads and power grids, but it doesn't work for humans. AI is taking that data and it's compiling it. It can crunch those numbers across the disciplines better than we ever could. But in doing so, it's going to expose how fragile our human system actually is. The DMV is a public-facing branch, which allows us to scrutinize it. Just imagine how bad some of these other public agencies are that work in darkness. As tasks are handed over to AI, we may get efficiency gains and we may get improved public services. If the people running the system before the implementation of AI were this incompetent, just imagine how little they will understand once they outsource their thinking. Those with a finger on the pulse will go extinct, and then no one will know how anything works. When something goes down or goes rogue, you have about as much chance of fixing it with an exorcism as a technician. As the people who built these systems barely understand how they work, we are not going to have additional resources to fix them when the time comes. Do you think there are any safeguards we can put in place to lead to a less catastrophic outcome? What if the world you were born into no longer existed by the time you graduate? For thousands of years, the world barely changed. Now, it transforms every few years. Teachers can't teach for it, experts can't predict it, but you are expected to adapt to it. Once upon a time, you would grow up, learn a craft, and advance it before you pass it on. This is compatible with your brain. We are designers, developers, innovators, but what we are not is a switch. We can't spend the first quarter of our life preparing for the rest of our life and then go in a completely different direction. There's a small percentage of us that thrive on change and don't get flustered when everything is ripped away from us and something new is put in its place. However, most of us fear change. We find comfort in things staying the same. The world is easier to understand. You are moving from a complicated world that you can study to a complex world that you can't predict. The only survival skill left is adaptability itself. It is becoming harder to predict economic or social trends. All we can do is prepare to be replaced and be agile enough to scale the next cliff. What do you think the world will look like in 5 years? AI isn't leveling the playing field. It's tilting it faster than ever. AI bros preach that it gives power to the people. In reality, it gives more power to those who already have it. Technology is great when you control it. When technology advances, those with money, power, and data centers capture the market. Remember the golden rule. Those with the gold make the rules. For you, it's like racing a billionaire's jet on a skateboard. AI is the greatest wealth concentrator this world has ever seen. It accelerates based upon how many resources you can throw at it. Those who have the assets gain their wealth the fastest. If most of your income comes from selling your time for money, then you are severely handicapped because you lack their leverage. For every step you take forward, they can take 1,000, just leaving you further behind. Time, being your primary marketable resource, becomes less valuable as the silicon brain laps you before the race even starts. Mastering new skills and getting advanced degrees still benefits you in your quest for ultimate prosperity, but the leverage it provides is diminishing quickly against those who already own the world. What do you think is the best way to leverage your skills to compete against AI? In the age of deep fakes, being real is the new luxury brand. When everything can be copied instantly, your voice, your face, your art, authenticity becomes rare, and rare things are valuable. The next generation of celebrities will not be actors and musicians. It'll be people who can make the human condition real again. That is a skill AI cannot teach because it does not know what it is to exist. There's a rising popularity of influencers on social media who show you their life, they show you their craft, but more importantly, they show you who they are. Similarly, in a Hollywood movie, viewers have become numb to the special effects backed by a complete lack of plot. Blockbusters use the technology to mitigate their costs, improve production, while focusing on the story. This is your movie. This is your story. What will the next chapter look like? Your favorite influencers probably got their start a decade ago and have slowly built into this persona that you love. This authenticity will be key in the future, but the bar has been severely raised. You will not be able to build your personal brand over the next 10 years like they did. As much as we may not want to, we are going to have to leverage all the resources that are available to us just as they did back then. Be real, be vulnerable, be relatable. You must be your authentic self or you're working on your shadow. What if AI isn't just replacing your job, but it's replacing your purpose? Society was built with worth measured in output. As our output is automated, our worth gets devalued. This has resulted in an over-financialized economy. It's no longer about what you can produce, but how you can move around the resources and skim something off the top. It's the new age of the middleman. But instead of hawking sofas and Cadillacs, they're manipulating the money itself. Automakers make cars not because they value the automobile, but so they can profit off the financing. We used to have purpose through grandness, building the fastest rocket ship, making the greatest sculpture, or building the best company through innovation. Now these are just secondary factors that provide utility and a conduit to manipulate markets. Innovation is risky, but downsizing is profitable. In a society where everything requires number go up, advancing the human condition is irrelevant. As output becomes automated and identity collapses, I see the mental crisis, especially in the developed economies, going from challenging to structural. Do you think it's possible to put purpose back into our existence? Is it crucial, and can it be replaced with something else? AI may not destroy humanity. It just might make us stop making humans. Birth rates are plummeting worldwide. We already struggle to sustain economies, to care for the elderly, or even to persist. When synthetic life becomes more efficient, digital companions replace relationships, what incentive is there left to reproduce? The words of T.S. Eliot, "The world doesn't end in a bang, it ends in a whimper," have never felt so true. Much of the youth is already consumed in video games, doom scrolling, and just trying to figure out how to make ends meet. None of these preoccupations provide the skills necessary to advance or even maintain social cohesion. We have reached a point where the number of retirees is already too great for the people continuing to work to support them. There isn't a developed society on the planet where the numbers are going to improve in the foreseeable future. As more people crowd into cities, the practicality of raising families diminishes. Add on the ability of AI to reduce our need for human interaction, and this downward spiral is just accelerated. A great war is not needed when we voluntarily check out. Do you think there's a way to use AI to counteract hopelessness and apathy instead of amplifying it?